Oh, what? Knuckles? And they didn't show Shadow. I mean, that basically confirms it, right? Shadow's in Smash! I mean, he's probably an Echo Fighter, but that's totally cool with me. I can't wait for all the Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Adventure 2 music. Hell yeah! Shadow's in the game! God, I love Smash Bros. If I had a capture card, enough space to be loud, and maybe a few more subscribers, the first game I'd want to sit down and record content in would easily be Smash Bros. The series just excels in so many different aspects. It's the best competitive game to play with friends, whether they know what they're doing or not. It's gorgeous to look at. It's a playable museum of characters, games, series, and especially music from video game history. And Ultimate gets a lot of this absolutely spot on, combining a huge number of stages and every character from the series' past games. Controls are tight and fluid, strong hits just feel so meaty. Constant patches ensure the roster feels at least relatively balanced, with no characters feeling completely overpowered and very few feeling too much weaker than the rest. Having said that, I would do literally anything for Ludwig buffs. Not Bowser Jr., and definitely not any of these freaks, but please, Sakurai, throw my dear sweet boy a bone, or even just a recovery which doesn't do this. However, I think Ultimate still drops the ball a little bit in its role as the all-encompassing gaming showcase it's designed to be, although it's definitely the best of the series. It's hard to be too critical, but if I could make my perfect Smash game, there's a couple of small things I'd want. I miss trophies. I remember being a kid playing Melee and Brawl and spending hours and hours just reading the descriptions and examining every trophy in minute detail. Even in Smash 4, I went out of my way to collect these guys, but spirits just don't have the same magic about them. Having said that, it makes perfect sense that they didn't want to spend development time and money on the models and the descriptions you have to translate into every language.
Honestly, they were really difficult to develop too.
Plus, this opens the representation up even wider. As I'm writing this, there are 1,413 spirits in the game, with some given to series that would probably never get a fighter slot, like indies or Tetris pieces. Tetraminos? Tetraminos? I don't know how to say that.
Tetraminos?
There are 2 Shantae spirits though. That's awesome! And the spirits are the one place where updates are constant, with spirit events happening every so often to promote new games like Tetris 99, the Trials of Mana remake, and the Resident Evil ports. The increased scale of Ultimate can also make some formerly pretty central Nintendo IPs seem a little underappreciated, as if Smash Bros is the only recognition these days that these franchises ever existed. Now, some of these make perfect sense. While it's cool that the likes of the Ice Climbers and Rob are here, people are hardly begging for a new game in their series. But for F-Zero fans, it must be galling that their 1 character, 3 stages, and 14 spirits in this game is probably all they're getting anytime soon.
Excuse me, sir. Not gonna punch you for $1. It's been real rough since they patched in all the new characters. Sakurai won't return my phone calls. Sakura.
Perhaps it's fair that these legacy series don't get another fighter or anything, but more updates beyond just fighters might let longtime fans get excited about maybe seeing another little bit of representation. Which brings us neatly to the solution to all my minor little gripes. Assist Trophy DLC. Ideally free, but I'd be totally okay with these being priced at like me costume level if they needed to get costs back. Something important to note here is that Smash Bros. Representation can be so much more than characters and stages, which the competitive Smash audience might sometimes forget. Items, assist trophies, Mii costumes, and music should all be taken into account. Sure, there are loads of Fire Emblem characters, some would say too many. But on some level that makes sense. It is, after all, a series as much about its characters and their interactions as it is about strategy gameplay. Should it have more characters than The Legend of Zelda, for example? Debatable, but Zelda has so many stages and items to make up for it, since that series has always been about the places you explore and the tools you use to do so. I choose to believe that everything in this game, most things in this game, have been thought out to that degree. And assist trophies are a huge part of that. I remember going into Smith's a couple weeks after getting a Wii and seeing Brawl for the first time. My brother and I had spent years playing Melee and Double Dash almost exclusively, so I begged my mum to get me this game. One of my childhood heroes, in fact, was that poor Smith's employee who had to spend 10 minutes or so explaining that yes, even though Smash Bros. Is rated 12s, it should be okay for little 9-year-old Steven to play. And on the box, I was far more interested in the new Pokemon and this other weird new item than I was about Snake. Who even is this guy? Why is he called Snake? Why is a big military looking guy in my happy cartoon fun time? Why does his up tilt look like this? Even Sonic. I was glad he was here, but it felt like he should have been in Melee. And adding him now was just justice being served. But assist trophies. I spent so long trying to figure out who all these weird characters were. I probably only recognized the Mario characters, Shadow, and my Nintendog. Her name was Joy, and I loved her, and I haven't seen her for like a decade. Am I a bad parent? Honestly, that first time seeing these non-fighter characters might well have been the moment that I became interested in learning about the less obvious and less well-known parts of the video game world, and having a kind of general knowledge about my favorite hobby. Sure, the fighters are the main attraction, and I love learning new things about them. But every part of Smash Bros. Holds a key role in representing the different series which make up the fabric of Nintendo and gaming history. And I still think assist trophies have a kind of magic to them. Remember the August before the game launched, when there was a Smash Bros. Direct laying out a whole load of new features for the game. One of the coolest parts about that for me was seeing some of the new assist trophies being added. People reacted in so many different ways, from joy at seeing new assist trophies for gaming icons like Alucard, to genuine excitement for indie reps when Shovel Knight appeared, to sheer, ironically uncontrolled chaos when Knuckles showed up and Shadow was nowhere to be seen.
Listen, Shadow the Hedgehog will realistically be making an appearance in Smash Bros. As a playable character.
Next.
Oh,
It's over. It's
Pour one
legitimately
out.
over. Takamaru's. Ah, Lord Almighty, bro.
oh, they really did that to him.
They really did it.
I saw Shadow for a second and I was
like,
And Mr. Sakurai, please don't for a second think that I don't appreciate the frankly disgusting amount of work you put into this game. But even though every fighter is back, we've left a few friends behind in Smash 4 and Brawl. Look at all these assist trophies who didn't survive the jump to Ultimate. Of course, Isabelle, Dark Samus, and Little Mac were promoted to full characters, respectively becoming a fishing rod with a complimentary dog, Dark Samus, and, well, Little Mac. As the man says,
The total number of assist trophies is now 59. Actually, they outnumber the Pokemon this time.
but I still think there's some room for growth there. I mean, I'd love more Pokemon summons as well, but that's probably a topic for another video. Unless you added Galar Pokemon or something along those lines though, it's difficult to argue that they can bring greater representation to Smash in the same way some more assist trophies would. Now, are assist trophies ideal representation for a series or character? Of course they aren't. For fans of most major series, there'd be outrage if their rep only made it in as an assist trophy. Say Dante, Sora, Master Chief, Spyro, Crash, so on. Series of this caliber would need a full fighter pass slot or nothing at all. There could be no in-between. Even for assist trophies from a series already claiming a fighter slot, they could only have limited actions and animations. As much as we'd love to see it, most characters couldn't be fully fleshed out with the small assist trophy moveset. Although, on second thoughts, maybe one or two could. But there are plenty of cases where an assist trophy could be the perfect way to include a character who just couldn't be implemented otherwise. For example, a character who may not otherwise fit within a fighting game. Indie reps, or reps from series which might not have quite enough clout to claim a full fighter slot. Characters from popular and already well-represented series, characters from games in a long-running franchise which their fighter reps don't cover. This would be useful for series with entirely different casts in each game. I actually don't have many examples of existing assist trophies here, since Persona and Dragon Quest didn't have the chance to get any assist trophies. Square really don't want to share more Final Fantasy than they absolutely have to, and I don't know how much more Fire Emblem I can really advocate for before the fanboys have me lynched. Either way, I definitely have loads of ideas on who I'd love to see added as an assist trophy. I'm planning on doing a follow-up video on who I would add if I was given the deciding votes, so please remember to... and also just argue as much as possible in the comments about who you would pick. As much as possible. Just let out your inner demons in the comments, all your bile. You don't even know my choices yet, but just pick some at random and tell me why I'm wrong and I'm stupid for wanting them in the game. I'm dead serious. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to read all those. If this video does well and I actually get quite a few comments like that, that would just be... that would be about the funniest thing I could imagine. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of them. Thanks so much for watching.